Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Rise and Grind Mastermind call. Encouraging you all, everyone, to start your day with a vision, start your day with purpose. This call was started on September the 8th by Tamika Williams. And just to give you a brief description of this call, no individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of a great fortune without the cooperation of other people. This concept of a mastermind group was formally introduced by Napoleon Hill in his timeless classic in the early 1900s entitled Think and Grow Rich. Today we're going to be talking about living the law of attraction. Living the law of attraction. You are what you attract. You are a product of your habits, of your environment, the people that you choose to hang around on a daily basis. If I was to paint a picture briefly just on how, living the law of attraction, after I did my meditation this morning and things of that nature, a picture came in my mind of sitting in a classroom. And life is like a class. Life is like school. You have various levels. You have, grade school, middle school, high school, post-secondary and things of that nature, if that's the route that you decide to take. And just initially, when it comes to school, you have to be in attendance. You have to attend school. You have to every day that you wake up is your opportunity to be attentive, to be productive, to participate in this great event called life that we are all given the gift of. Every day we have this gift if we're allowed to wake up and to, like I said, to be a part of this thing. And for starters, attendance is imperative because, like in school, if you're not in attendance, you're marked absent. And you cannot be productive, you cannot participate, you cannot be involved or engaged in the learning process if you're not in attendance. And furthermore, after so many missed classes, the teacher will, either sit you aside, call your parents or things of that nature and say, hey, let's try to work something out, what's going on here. Let's try to solve this issue before it becomes a problem. Let's try to nip this in the bud, so to speak. However, a lot of times in life, when things show up, I know for myself, I had chose to remain absent in a lot of classes. And because I chose to be absent in various particular areas in my life, I was almost expelled from the school of life. Now, where am I going with this? This is where I'm going. If every day we wake up, we choose not to attend class. We choose not to attend this thing called life. We choose not to engage with other people. We choose not to take notes on what to do, on what not to do. If we're not doing our homework like we should, affirmations, making sure we're handling our business, checking our social circle, making sure we're doing everything to be the most productive person that we are. If I'm not making satisfactory progress in my life, I'm absent in the class of life. I have very little value to give, number one, to myself and to the people that I associate within my community. And if I'm not being an asset to someone, what am I being? I'm a liability. And if I'm being a liability, I'm not any good around here. So it is important that I keep in mind that every day that I wake up, I have to wake up prepared, ready to go to attend the class of life. Now, example in my life where I chose to be a slacker. During high school, we have peer pressures and things of that nature, whatever you want to call it. Really, it's just drifting off whatever course that, that you're supposed to be on. I chose to party a little, skip school, do things of that nature. And ultimately, I was almost in a position to where I was not going to graduate on time. So what I had to do, and in that process, I was attracting all type of negativity. I was dabbling with drinking, drugging, partying, this, that, and the third. And what I had to do was catch myself before I was ultimately kicked out of Westlake High School, for real, or not graduating on time. So what I had to do is, I had to catch myself from going over the edge. What I did was I couldn't change anybody else around me from doing what they wanted to do and things of that nature, but I had to change my perspective on what I wanted to do with my life. So what I began to do was use the powerful word no. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. No, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. Why? Because I wanted to achieve something. I had something that I wanted to accomplish for Randolph. Not for my family, not for anyone else, but for me, because I can't be a help to anyone else if Randolph isn't the most productive Randolph that he can be. So I made those changes. I graduated with a decent GPA, went on to college and school now, things of that nature. So it's very important that once we find ourselves not in attendance, that we don't stay stuck in that zone, that we break that pattern. And that pattern can be broken by how we talk about affirmations a lot. We talk about visualizations a lot. Changing your mindset on what it is that you want. And these are various tools that we use on a daily basis to keep ourselves on track, on focus towards our purpose that we have. Would anybody like to chime in right now before I continue on? Okay. Well, as far as the law of attraction goes, again, the affirmations are very key to one's definiteness of purpose. Environment is imperative to one's success, using this law of attraction. And because a lot of us don't come from the best neighborhoods, attend the best schools, sometimes we can be in a mindset of, this is just life, this is where it's supposed to be. But that is a lie. That is not the truth. This pattern can be broken. How is it broken? Again, through these tools that we use, such as affirmations, such as visualizations. A prime example of some of the affirmations that I use on a daily basis to keep myself on track of where I'm going. I am employed by God who has given me a vision. I'm connected with God who possesses all of my wants, desires, and needs infinitely. I have to keep myself reminded of this on a daily basis because life does show up. And sometimes I do want to get the heck out of class, go run in my car, and go party. But the thing is, the problem is still going to be there. So I have to have this picture in my mind of what I have to do, what my focus is, what my goals are, what my purpose is. Because if not, I will be left out of the school of life and have nothing. When I'm off the scene, I will have nothing that I would have contributed to this thing. Is somebody on the call right now wanting to chime in?
Yes, I wanted to speak about the law of attraction. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. This is Tamika Williams, just in case you didn't know, but we attended a seminar with Jack Canfield. It was called One Day to Greatness. And basically what the One Day to Greatness, the vision of having the seminar, it was about how to get from where you are to where you want to be. That's exactly what the law of attraction is. But with the law of attraction, you have to understand where you are. You have to understand where you want to go. But you have to have a when and you have to have a why. That falls into having that definiteness of purpose, and you're not going to move unless you have some feeling, some great desire in the back of it. Because you can say you want one thing just because it sounds good to say it, just because everyone else may have it, or someone that you may be a role model, they may have it, so you think, okay, well, maybe I deserve it. Let me strive to achieve it. But if it's no emotional backing to the back of what you want, there's nothing that moves your inner core that feeds into why you want what you want, then you're not going to get it. So the law of attraction is basically a feeling. Everything that we do based on feelings. Based on our feelings design our thoughts. Based on our thoughts bring whatever we attract to us, and that's what the law of attraction is. So one thing we learned about the law of the One Day to Greatness is what we're already talking about on this call, but it's just reiterated. The motto of this call, once again, is start your day with a vision. Your vision, when you think about your vision, close your eyes for a second and understand what is it that you want the most right now. When you think about that, that's your vision. And then you turn your vision into a reality. But the only way we can turn these visions, these thoughts that we have into reality are when we get our feelings attached to it, when you get that emotion attached to it, when you can visualize it and you can hear the sounds that's playing in the background, the taste that you have in your mouth, the everything, your five senses are just in motion when you think of what it is that you want. That's when you realize you have a burning desire. So I'll pass it back off to you, Randolph.
Thank you so much, Tamika. Just a quick story on that burning desire, the law of attraction, and what she was saying just in fact about how this works. I know before we even went to this One Day of Greatness by Jack Canfield, I began to hear some of his literature, and, I was just enlightened, rocketed to a fourth dimension, if you would like to say, for a choice of better words. And, I had my vision board. I began to say my affirmations. I wasn't as, adamant as I should be, but I was going with the deal. I was feeling it. Like she said, it's a feeling. I was feeling it, like, totally. And I just opened up my mouth, and I was playing, with Tamika when I said, we're going to Houston, and we're going to see Jack Canfield. And little did we know he would be in Dallas. Now, money was funny at the time, and I didn't know how things were going to get done, but I began to apply certain principles, such as asking, believing, and expecting for these things to happen. And what I did was, like true story, I called, I got on the phone with the airline, Southwest, and I was like, my name's Randolph Mapp. I'm a young entrepreneur. I don't have a business at this time. I said I'm an author and an entrepreneur. I don't even have my first paragraph on my book right now. But I was speaking these things into existence, and I let the individual know who I was talking to, what I wanted, the price that I wanted, all that good information. Got the tickets for the round trip for a price that people couldn't even imagine. Stayed at a wonderful hotel and had the time of my life at this event, all based on simply practicing these tools, these spiritual tools that we talk about on a day-to-day basis. And the thing is that you have to believe this when it's rainy, when it's sunny, when things are looking good, when things are looking bad. You have to be consistent with it, because that's one of the keys to the laws of attraction. You have to be consistent with this thing, period, and adapt, because things aren't going to always go your way in life. Things aren't always going to be in your favor, but you have to know what your purpose is. And is somebody's phone on? You have to know what your purpose is, and you have to live in your purpose, regardless of what's going on around you. You cannot allow circumstances to dictate how you're supposed to be living. Success is a mentality, not a lifestyle. And by that, what I mean is that you have to know in your mind that you are already that guy, that woman, that person that you want to be, that doctor, that entrepreneur, that whatever it is, that number one parent that you are. You have to already see it in your mind and be living it already. So when you do actually step into that is exactly what you're doing. You're just walking into your destiny. It's no surprise. You don't have to do anything new or anything different, because you've been doing this on a consistent basis over a period of time. All right? Would anybody else like to chime in real quick? Well, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to the call this morning on Living the Law of Attraction. Again, please don't forget to say your affirmations if you don't have them. Begin to write them down. Begin to visualize what your affirmations are and make that a reality. Again, I hope you all start your day with vision. You are important. Thanks for listening to the call. We're on Facebook.